Okay, thank you guys. This is ProGraphics once again, and today we are retouching this particular image. I'm not the photographer for this image. It's one of our pro photographers and retouchers who took this picture. I'll leave his Instagram link in my description so you can follow him on Instagram. So guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, try your best to do that as we continue with today's tutorial. Okay, so we are going to do some few adjustments. As you all know, we always do a duplicate of our layer, so Ctrl J will give you that duplicate. Then from there, what you are going to do is you are going to select this one so that we extend it. That is a over here we call it pony, I don't know. Yeah, so let's come for, guys, I want you to follow well because I don't want you to, this is the curvature. I'm using the curvature pen too. It's also used for selection, and remember over here you have shape, you have pixels, you have but I'm using the path for the selection. So let's zoom in. Then after zooming in, we'll come over here and start with our selection. And guys, one thing you should know that sometimes when you are selecting, it wouldn't show after you have done the selection or in the process of the selection before it pops out. I don't know the reason why. Sometimes it happens like that. Okay, but I think with the 2019 it doesn't happen like that. Okay, so let's go on. After we have selected, if there is any irregularity, we are going to fix it. So let's continue. Okay, so we take it from here, then we come here, we come here. Okay, yeah, so guys, you have seen, so if there are some places that you think that the selection was not done well, you can just click over there, then pull it back a little bit, pull this one to back a little bit. Okay, wow. Okay, I think we are okay with this one. So what you're going to do is you press Ctrl Alt, then you press enter. Then you have this your selection, so you press Ctrl J to duplicate this one. So Ctrl J to do a duplicate. So you come for our selection tool, then we have this one over here. Before you can see it well, we press Ctrl T to transform, then we enlarge it like this, then we enlarge it a little bit like this. Okay, so we will left click on the same layer, then you go to warp. Okay, so the warp tool will help you to maneuver with it and make sure that you have fixed it well. So we can just push this one here, and this one will come there, then here too will come somewhere here. Remember, you're manipulating it. So let's zoom out and let's look at how it's looking like. Okay, so I think this one is not bad. Okay, now the reason why we did this because we want to fill the frame, so you can see before and after, before and after, before and after. Yes, because we want to fill the frame, that's why we are doing that. Okay, so what you are going to do is when you look at the edges, you can see there's some extension of hair. She's hairy. Okay, so we are going to do the same selection again. Okay, let's create the stamping layer. Ctrl Alt Shift E will create the stamping layer. Then what we are going to do is you are going to do the selection again. We come over here, then we make sure you select the edges. Select the edges. So let's come here, let's select here. Okay, because of this video might be a little bit of lengthy, so okay, so press on the space bar to bring this hand to, then you go on this way. Okay, then you can come this side. Let's reduce it a little bit. Press the hand key to draw it back. Come over here. Okay, then you can come here and also clear this once. Okay, Wow. So guys, we have done our selection. Here it has gotten into the skin. Let's click and drag it back. Okay, so what we are going to do is with the Control Alt Shift, Control Alt, then you press enter. After it has selected, we come for our stamping layer, or the clone tool, sorry, the clone tool. Then we reduce the size of the clone tool. Okay, then we press on the Alt key to select a sample, then we begin to paste. So you can see that it is doing this correction within the selected layer. Okay, so you can see what is happening over here. So you can see it is working. Now you should look at it very carefully. You can see some plus sign when I click. When the plus sign comes within the skin, it will do another selection. So where we have gotten to, we need to press on the Alt key again, then we do another selection. So you can see where the plus has got into. Okay, so you can see. Okay, okay, so you can see we have done with our corrections. So Control D to take off that layer. So guys, you can see. Then for you to make the edge a little bit softer, let's look at it. So before and after, before and after. So let's duplicate it and see something over here. Control J. Then let's come to the blur tool. Yes, then the strength should be somewhere. Let's make it 30 to make the edges a little bit soft. So just pass on it a little bit to make the edges a little bit soft. Okay, so I think our selection is being done. Wow. Okay, so since you are done with that one, let's group these ones so that we don't have a lot. So Control Shift E, then let's take off this excess hair from this place too. So let's go back for our curvature pen tool. Then let's do the selection. Okay, so okay, let's bring it down. Okay, we can go to this side and let's take. So let's come back over here, then click on this one. It has entered into the skin. We don't want that. Let's zoom in, push it up. Okay, okay, so guys, let's see if it will work as expected. So Control Alt, then you press enter. Then we come for our stamping layer 2, our clone tool. Then we choose, select sample, then we begin to work on that. So you can see by the selection of this sample we have done something. So Control D, okay, let's see something over here. Okay, okay, it's not bad. Oh, it looks too sharp. Guys, I told you, I've been telling you that you are the one who is retouching, and if you do something, so let me take off this Control J. If you do something, Control Alt Shift E, sorry. If you do something and you think, let me create a clipping mask so that you can. If you do something and you think that what I've done is not in line, police will not arrest you. Don't feel too big to make changes. So I'll change my brush, then you can see I'm making some few adjustments over here. I think that's the only place. So what I did is I just duplicate this one, then I create a clipping mask, then I create a mask for it, so that what is below, which is this one, might be seen over here. So I think that's the only thing that we have done. You can see that. Okay, so there's nothing more, there's nothing less. So since we have done that, let me group this one again. Guys, follow, I'm taking my time, Control or Shift E. Okay, where this one's now, let's leave it like that. Okay, she's hairy, so we can't take everything from her. Okay, so the next thing that we are going to do is to apply our action that I was talking about. So let's come over here. I have a lot of actions over here. So come, actions, then let me change it from the thumb mode. Then there's the action I'm talking about, EB skin retouching action, and guys, I'll be giving it for free. Okay, so what we are going to do is I'll click on the airbrush. So you can see you have soft skin, glamour, we have super sharpen, we have contrast, we have eye and lip enhancer, we have teeth whitener, we have diffuser glow. So we are going to use this one for our frequency separation today. So all of us, we know how we do our frequency separation, and this one, it will be a simple form of we making our frequency separation. Okay, okay, so guys, let's continue. So what I'm going to do is so simple. I'll just click on this one, and it does whatever it's going to do. So yeah, you are not going to worry yourself. Mixer brush, you're going to use the laser tool, making selections, whatever. No, we just a click, then you begin to apply your brushes. Then if there's a need for you to do some small opacity, reduce the opacity, you do that. Okay, so we have done it. So since over here is black, you have to use a white brush, as I've chosen over here, and you must use also the soft round brush. Then as you do our frequency separation, let's bring our black and white so that it will give us the difference between the mid-tones, the shadows, and the highlights, so that we don't overdo things over here. Okay, so what we are going to do is we'll come back to this one, then increase the size of our brush, then let's begin to paint. And guys, it will shock you. It will shock you. Now, don't let anyone deceive you that you are weak when you use actions. Let me tell you, even the professionals, they use action. Why? What is the main reason why we use actions? The main reason why we use actions is because of time. To save time. You just imagine creating frequency separation, creating dodge and bend, creating global. Just imagine in one image, whilst we have about maybe 10, 20, 15 images to retouch. Guys, so don't let anyone deceive you. You develop a style for yourself, how you want your image to feel like. Me, for instance, if those that have really studied me, you'll get to know that for me, I don't like the skin of my images to be too soft. All right, so I think it will help. It will help. So don't let people scare you about some of these things. Be of yourself. Be of yourself. We learn from people, and after you have learned, you discover your own style of working. That is how we learn. Yes, we are still learning. We are not saying that we are professionals. No, we are still in the pipeline. We have people that we learn from. Okay, yes. So you can see it's even taking off the spots and the blemishes from the skin. Okay. Okay. So you can see it is working. Let me reduce the size of my brush. Okay, so guys, you can see. So you don't just do it, you make sure that you don't blend the highlights with the shadows, right? Okay, so let's come here, let's do some few adjustments over here. Okay, I'm not using the graphics tablet, so I'll just be careful so that I'll not overdo, because when it comes to the impression, it's very, very important. So guys, let's look at the before and after, before and after, before and after. So you can see that a lot has been done. So before, after, before, after. I'm loving it, I'm loving it. Okay, so let's look at this side. I think this side has not been done well. Okay, so you can see we are still having your texture, we are still having the quality of your skin. So it's very, very important, guys. Don't worry, this tutorial is both for professionals and yeah. Okay, so let's reduce the size, then let's look at what we have done. So control, so you see. Okay, so don't worry if it looks too soft, you can maintain it like this, but we are going to sharpen this image. So Control or Shift E to create a stamping layer. Then what we are going to do is let's go for our spot healing brush. Then if there is any form of spot that you think it is being destructive, you just take it out. Okay, I told you that I don't want my image to look too soft, too plastic. No, I want my images to look natural. Okay, so okay, let's come over here. I think okay, a lot has been done, so let's delete the black and white. Then from there, let's zoom in a little bit. Then let's bring this earring sample over here, because you can't leave it like this. So let's delete this one. Then I like making duplicates in case of anything, you can get back to where you are. So we come for the clone tool, or still you can use your patch tool. For instance, let me use the patch tool. So you come over, you choose your patch tool. All what you need to do is you need to make a perfect selection like this. You draw, then so look at something. When I drag this one and I put it here, you can see that it has changed the earring and replace with the skin. So what you are going to do is you come over here and you click on destination. So destination source. So here you can see it has duplicated it over here. Okay, so we press Ctrl D. Sorry, I've grouped it. You press Ctrl D to take off this one. Now we have done that, but since we have done that, we need to add a shadow to it. So what we are coming to do is, it's so simple. We will, so you can see, so what you do is you come over here, then let's choose a color. So choose a color from here. You can use even a sample of this color over here. Then we zoom in, we take our brush. I hope guys you are following. Then we will paint. Don't worry about how you are seeing it, don't worry. Okay, so let's see, it's not showing just because. Let's create a layer mask for this one. Then since it's black, let's use black. So you paint over here, so you can see that it is showing. Okay, it is showing. So we continue. Yes, we use the black brush. So let's come over here. Okay, so Let's paint a little bit and reduce the size of the brush, do the painting. So what you do is change the blending mode to either multiply or color, and when you change the color you can see, so you can, okay, let's go to multiply, then reduce the opacity. Okay, reduce the opacity, reduce the opacity. So it looks like it's too big, so let's create a layer mask for this one too. Then we'll use the brush to clean it a little bit. I hope guys you can see. Let me click this one so you can see before after. Okay, so you can see, so before after. So we have created the shadow for the ear. Okay, so let's group all again. Guys, you shouldn't be worried, just follow the steps. I don't want us to have a lot of layers, that's why I keep on grouping to make the whole thing more easier for us to understand what we are actually doing. Okay, so see, before, after, before, after, before, after. Okay, let's go on. So Ctrl Alt Shift E. Then what you are going to do is, when you look at the skin over here, it's different from what we have over here. So either you are going to blend the skin, make sure that this one and the face will match a little bit, or here will be like this. You can do this thing by making color correction, or by creating skin tone, or yes, still by adding a preset to it, or adding a lot to it. So it depends on what you want to do at the moment. So let's try number one, lot, and let's try skin tone for tutorial purposes. Okay, so let's come to I have some presets over here. There's camera raw preset, and this, guys, I've given this one out already. So but let me see if you have made it. Let's duplicate it. Okay, then let's go back to the camera raw. Okay, now we have come to the camera raw. So what you are going to do is, I have some presets over here, guys. I've given it already, so if you can't find it, that means that you are not following me. So look at this one, studio light base. Now look at before, and you can see the after. So you can see so you can see the difference now. In fact, most of the times I like using this kind of preset. And one thing about the camera raw preset is it's easy for you to manipulate with what has been done. Okay, but when it comes to the lot, the only thing that you can do basically is by reducing the opacity of what you have done. Okay, so you can see, so you have a lot of them, so you just look at this one and this one. Okay, this one too is not bad. Okay, so let's go on. So you just go through the one that you think that it suits your taste, you just adjust it and you use it. And remember, no one will arrest you when you are doing retouching. We learn from our mistakes. So as you do, you might have some lapses, okay, and no one is bound to correction. Okay, the fact that I'm teaching you doesn't mean that I'm 100%. No, I know some of you can do better than I'm doing. Okay, so you just understand what you are doing and what you have to do. That's all. Okay, so practice make man improve. But practice usually doesn't make man perfect, because the more you learn, the more you discover. Okay, so let's try to find one, then let's use, so depending on the concept that you have. So for this one, for instance, it's very nice. It's very nice. So if you choose this one, then we have a lot to do. Okay, so let's go on. I want you to understand what we are doing, and that's all. Okay, so look at this skin tone too, it looks good. Okay, and sometimes depend on the scene that you want to portray. Okay, so this let me see the moody. Okay, so you can see these are some of them that I personally created for some of the images. So when you see it, you see my name, and sometimes I name it over there. Okay, so let's go on. Okay, so basically this one is about, so look at this one. Nice. Okay, so this is basically about the camera raw preset. Then let's go to the LUT. For you to apply the LUT, for that one, you'll come over here, then come to color lookup. So you come over here, then these are the LUTs. So you just select one. Then when I press the button down, you can see it is changing. Depending on the LUTs that I have in my workspace. So you can see. So when you look at this one particularly, you can see that it has blended the skin. So it has done about 50% of the work that you are supposed to do. This one too, for instance, it has done 50% of the work that you're supposed to do, because when you look at the highlight within it, the highlight matches with the skin. Yeah. Okay, so depending on what, and if you want to also load the LUT, you come over here. I have some LUTs over here, so I can come to this one, load, and say it's been applied to it. If I want to change, I'll come to another one, and this one you locate where your LUTs are. Then, and we have other ways where you can also load it so that it will be appearing over here, and that is not the main purpose for this tutorial. I just want to show you what you are supposed to do. Okay, so I've shown you the ways. So the next way that you can also do is, let me delete this one, is by applying the skin tone method. So you come over here, then create the skin layer, the solid color, then you convert it, then you come over here, then choose a sample of the skin that the skin texture you want to give. If you want to use this one, then you have to click something like this. But if you want to use this one for the entire skin, then you have to come over here. So you use this one, then you come, choose your brush. Okay, it's chosen already. Increase the size of your brush, and guys, you begin, since here is white, you must change the brush to be white. So you begin to paint. Now look at it. It doesn't mean that you are doing the wrong thing. Okay, so after you have applied, you have to change this one to soft light. Basically, some people also wish to change it to color. Okay, depending on how you want it, but I uses soft light. Okay, so this is another way for you to get a better skin tone for your model. Okay, so let's go on. Don't worry if it looks too much, we are going to work on it. So wherever you see the skin, you just apply it. Now we don't have one way of doing some of these things. Some of these things, sometimes it comes by inspiration. The more you work, the more you get experience. So you continue on working, and one day you also develop your own style of working. Okay, so we have different ways of doing these things, so guys, you shouldn't worry much about it. Okay, you can also develop your own way of doing it. Some people can even use the, how do you call it, the mixer brush in blending the skin, like the skin tones. Yeah, and I think that one will be in our tutorial some other time. So what you do is, because it's too much, you have to reduce that. So reducing it, just come to the opacity, then reduce it a little bit. Then after you have done that, you can still come to your levels over here, then you begin to manipulate. You see, begin to manipulate, then okay, you can see I want to keep it this way. Okay, so reduce it to how you want it to be. So let's see, before after. Okay, group this one. So before, after, before, after, before, after. So you can see the difference now. So let's bring it down. I like it to be down, 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 down. Okay. So before, after, before, after, before, after, before, after. Okay. So guys, we have seen it, but yes, though it defeats the purpose, because when you look at it, it doesn't match with, when you reduce it doesn't match with what you have over here. So what you are going to do is you can increase it a little bit, like decrease it a little bit like this. It shouldn't go too much, because remember she has done a makeup, so the makeup is also counting over here, so don't forget that. Okay, so this is another one. So let's name this one skin tone. Then let's come over here and apply the camera raw preset to it. And I know a lot of you will try to choose the camera raw preset, so just look at it. Look at this one, so nice, so nice. Natural bees. Okay, I have another one too over here. I don't know if it will really match with this particular. And one thing you guys doesn't know is people have been selling lots. There's nothing bad with it, but it's not every lot that you can apply to a particular image. You should know what you are doing. Yes. And most of the people doesn't tell you some of these things, because some of the lots you apply to the image and you think you have bought it, so basically you should use it. Then so look at this one. Basically I used to use this one. Okay, so look at before and the after, before and the after. So when you look at it, it has totally changed the whole image. It has totally changed the whole picture. It has totally changed the whole skin tone. So look at it. You can, so this one, it looks somehow chocolate. The skin looks somehow chocolate. So if you want to go that chocolate coffee color, you choose this one. Okay, but if you want to come to this one, and this one you can see a lot of red in it. It looks reddish, so you choose this one. And after you have chosen this one, let me choose this one. You can look at the background. Are you still maintaining the background, or you are using this particular background? Because you can see a whole lot of lapses within the background, and it's revealing this ones. So if you are choosing this, then you have to work on it. So let's click OK. So you can see after time you can apply this one too, but oh, okay. So let's work on the background, because we can see a lot happening in the background over here, and it's not making the image look better. Or yes, still you can mask this one. Okay, then paint the background out of it, or you do your selection. Let me show you. You come to select, then you come to select subject. That is when you want to maintain your background. Good. Now it has selected the subject perfectly, but this side hasn't been. So what you are going to do, let's come over here, choose this one, and let's it's this one. Then let's see. Okay, so what you are going to do is you create a clipping mask. So you can see it has it has taken, so guys can see that it has made it simple. It has matched the other background that you are having. It has maxed it out, and that makes it powerful. So with this one, it's so easy for you to change the background of this particular image. So look at it. So I'll come over here, then come to solid color. I click over here, then drop it down. So have you seen? It's easier for you to change the background over here. So you can choose to use a black background like this, depending on what you want. But remember, these reflections doesn't reflect in black. So you can choose any other color of your choice to make it perfect. So you can see. So we are just working both on the background and both on the image, both on the background, both on the image. And don't forget that you are working in the color profile you're working is Adobe RGB. Okay, so that is it. So you can just be moving it. So you're in the blue, so you can see. So you can just push it over here, give it a light color like this. So if you are giving a light color like this, you can move around. Okay, so see, so you can see. So when you're doing this, you should do something that will make the image pop. Okay, should make the image pop. So you can draw it this side a little bit. Okay, we are doing that because of the background and because of the highlights that we are having in. Now if we are choosing something like, let me copy this color code because I like this one. So for instance, if you are choosing something like this blue, look at the highlight over here. Then you have to change, you have to do color grading, then change the highlight to blue. Okay, but for us not to make sure we don't blend in this video, you just use the white. Okay, so let me paste this color. So guys, you can see the difference now. Okay, we are not going to group it now, so you can add this one to it if you want to, then reduce the opacity. Okay, reduce the opacity to somewhere 3. Wow, so you can see. You can also choose to take it out before after. Okay, so let's continue with this video. I'm going to apply some color over here. Okay, then do some few color grading. Okay, so since I've chosen my background, let me group it once again, and then I come and choose a very nice color. So let me come somewhere here. I hope guys you are watching. Okay, so let me use this color, then come over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw. So take my brush, let me zoom in so that I can get it well, then reduce the size of my brush. Okay, I think this one is okay. Then I begin to draw this. Okay, so when I get over here, I have to reduce the size of my, reduce the size of my brush. So I have to reduce the size of my brush again. I have to reduce. So after I've done this, the next thing that I'm supposed to do is I have to zoom it out and look at what I've done. Okay, so it looks awesome. Now I'll come over here, double click on this image, then I come to the blending mode. Now let me zoom in so that you look at what I'm about to do. So I'll shift this one to the highlight. Now when I'm shifting it to the highlight, you can see that there's some kind of it's taking some of the highlights out. So I just come over here and stop over here. Since I can see that it's taking some of the things out, then I press on the Alt key to divide this. Then I'll push this one to the other side, then push this ones over here. So you can see now it is blending with the skin as if I did it with a brush. So you can see it's now blending. So let's click OK. Okay, so after we have clicked OK, let's come to the blending mode and let's see if you can make some few changes to this. Okay, so dissolve. Okay, so let's dissolve it and let's see how it look like. The dissolve looks too much, so let's Okay, dissolve is too much. Let's make it normal. Okay, because it's even looking normal. So guys, you can see so let's find another complementary color so that we add this one to it. So let's come over here and bring this one down. Then let's choose a color like this one. Let's come somewhere here. Okay, even with this one we can use a solid adjustment color. Then invert it. Let's change the color over here to somewhere. This one we can change it later, so don't worry. Then we come here, take our brush, increase the size of our brush, then let's paint. Okay, use the size. Okay, so it's already beneath, above. Okay, beneath. So double click, then we do same, you push it to the other side like this, then we divide it, come here. Okay, so you click OK, then you can change it to any color of your choice. Okay, I think this one is not bad. Okay, so after you have done that, you can reduce the size. Now you will come back again, then you begin to work on the edges. So where you think it has not been done well, so you can come over here, this where it's got to. Okay, then let's reduce, change our brush, then go this way by cleaning, then come this way, then reduce the size of and reduce the size of our brush, then continue from here. I hope guys you can see what we are doing. Okay, so you can make it mad by just reducing it. Okay, just reducing it a little bit. Okay, so you can change it to any color of your choice. Okay, so you can see. Okay, so that's just by the way. So if you want to also change this one, you just come to the blending mode again, then you come to overlay color, then you can choose any color of your choice. From here you can see, you can choose any color of your choice. So you can come down, choose any color of your choice. Now let's do our dodge and bend. Okay, so with this one you are not going to apply any action, so let's name this eyebrow. Okay, so you can take it off, you can take it on. Okay, so that's just by the way. So the next thing that we are going to do is you are going to do a dodge and bend, as I said. So you come to the curves adjustment layer like this, then you pull it down. Okay, so this one is a new method I'm going to use. Double click over here, then you shift this one. You can see this one we are bending. So when I push this one to the other side, you can see it's bringing the highlight. So you push this one to the other side, and you see it's bringing the bends and it's leaving the highlight. So you can see. So you just click OK, then let's take it out. Let's go to our curves again, then we lift it up. So this time around we double click, then you push these blocks, so you can see it's giving you your highlights. So you can see, okay. So you just click OK, then you name this one Dodge. Okay, then you name this one Ben. Okay, so you can group it, then name it DN engine, which is Dodge and Ben. So you have to invert Control I, invert this one, Control I, you invert this one. So for it to help you to know the main difference between your highlight and your shadows, you have to bring your black and white in. Your black and white. Yes, here are the black and white. So you crush it. Okay, then you come to, and remember with this one you can reduce opacity. You can reduce opacity when you see that it's too much. So we go for the bend, then we increase the size of our brush. Then wherever we see the shadows, we bend. Okay, so over here we bend here, then we come here, we bend here, we bend here too, we bend here, we bend this side, we bend this side, then come over here, we bend this side, we bend this side, so we bend this side, we come over here, we have to dodge here, reduce the size, dodge here, so we have to dodge here, dodge this side. Okay, so I have to dodge this side too. Okay, so I have to dodge this side too. So guys, let's take off the black and white and see what you have done. So you can see what you have done. It looks scary. So the only thing that you can do is, don't worry, you just reduce the opacity, reduce the opacity, reduce the opacity. Okay, so let's see before, after, before, after. So you can see it has really worked. Okay, so let's say before, after, before, after. So you can see how it has worked before and after, before and after, before and after, before, after. Okay, so the next, someone asked me a question in the group: how can you make the body glow as if you have poured oil on the skin of your subject? Now I'm going to teach this, so take note of it. Okay, so it's the skin glow, and this is a new method of which I use in doing the skin glow. And look at it. So you'll come and choose a new layer like this. Okay, then what you do is you still use a black and white, but if you are a beginner, then you have to use the black and white to know the difference between her shadows and the highlight. But if you're a pro, you know that here are my highlights. Okay, here are my highlights, this place is my midtones, and here's my shadows. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply that kind of glow to the highlight. So I go for my white brush, then increase the size of my brush, then here we have the highlight over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint here, so you can see that. So after I've done that, I'm going to double click over here to take me to the blending option. Then I begin to move it this way, so you can see after I've gotten to this side where it has started dissolving and diminishing, I'll just press on the Alt key to divide, then push it to the left like this, then begin to push it round again, so you can see it is dissolving little by little, little by little. So you can see that Okay, so you can see. Now look at the before and after, before, after, before, after. Okay, so let's apply the same glow to this side. So you can see. Okay, so so you can see the glow. You can see the glow. You can see that glow. Okay, so you can see that glow. So when you are done, you can bring some here, but let's reduce it. Okay, when we are done, we can just reduce the opacity. Look at it. Let's reduce the opacity so that it's not make people confused. So see, it's making the body shiny. Okay, so let's come to the lips. Okay, and add some to it. The earring, I think it will do. Okay, let's see. Let's bring the black and white to see the shadow over here. So let's come over here, the highlight, bring the black and white, then crash the reds. Okay, so it gives us the opportunity. So let's click this one, then paint. Okay, paint, paint. So you can see. Okay, so let's take off the black and white and see. Okay, so you can delete the black and white, but still most of the times those that have studied me, you get to know that when I get to this place, mostly I used to like adding the blending mode mixture then to make my skin somehow like this. Okay, okay, so you can choose to maintain this or that, maintain this or that. Okay, so guys, let's group all. Let me delete this one. Okay, one thing you have to study about me is I don't like my image to be plastic. So guys, take it like that. So after, before, after, before, after, before, after, before, after, before, after. Okay guys, so when I come over here, I can do my changes to the eye as I'm expecting. So okay, so with this, let me show you something. Sometimes for you to know that you have a perfect image for export, now let's go to file, let's go to export as. This is the basic way that we do export our images. Now, so when you look at this is the final work. Now remember, I use Adobe RGB, and as I've used Adobe RGB in this image, okay, when it comes over here, it has converted it to sRGB. So when you look at the color over here, I've done a video on this. When you look at color over here and the color over here, it looks different. Now, so it's two things. Either you convert it or reduce the colors over here. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. You reduce the colors over here a little bit so that it doesn't look oversaturated. I'm repeating it again. It doesn't look oversaturated. It doesn't look oversaturated. The recent image that I did, the image was looking oversaturated, and I hear people say there's a lot of red, there's a lot of red. Yes, that's some of the reasons, because I forgot to take off the convert to sRGB. Now look at it. When I take off this one, you see what will happen. Have you seen the color has changed? Now you can see now the color I'm having over here is the same color I'm having over here. So guys, you have seen the difference. So if you want to convert it to this sRGB, then what you have to do is you have to reduce the saturation over here so that it doesn't look oversaturated. And basically your image, you have to sometimes convert it, because some of the screens might not support this Adobe profile. It might support, because it's a large profile, it's need to convert it to a small profile with small RGB. So for the benefit of the doubt, let's come over here, then let me group all now, or shift control. Let's sharpen this image. Then from that, I have this super sharpen over here. Let's apply this action to it, then we are gone. Now you can see that the image looks over sharpened. So what are you going to do? You just reduce the opacity, reduce the opacity to somewhere 3, so you can see before, after. Okay, so then let's group this one again. Also regroup. Then let's apply this filter vibrance. Okay, so with the vibrance, let's reduce the saturation. So you can see we have reduced the saturation. So when we convert to sRGB, the saturation will not be as it's in Adobe RGB. Okay, so let's go back to export. Then let's come to export as. Okay, so over here you can see that the saturation that we had is not like as we have it now. It has really reduced. So let's come over here, then let's take off this one and let's compare. So you can see this is the actual color. This is the actual color that we worked it in Photoshop. So you come back again if you feel like the export is too much. This one is a trick I'm giving you. So let's bring the vibrance also down a little bit like this. Then let's come to export as. Okay, so now you can see, comparing it to before, this one is better. So if you take it out, you can see this is the original color. So you can choose to export the two, then compare it side by side. So let's say, let's name it R1. So basically what I do is, after I'm done, I export it to my phone to check if it's okay on my phone. Then let's convert this one to sRGB. Then let's name it R2. Okay, so this one will be R2. Okay, so thank you guys. So if you find this video of mine to be helpful, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and please, I need your subscription. Some of you guys are not subscribing at all. Please, I need your subscription. I need your subscription. Subscribe as we do more tutorials. Thank you very much, and don't forget, it's Pro Graphics. So before, after. Okay, bye bye. Have a blessed day.